Okay, and the recording has started. Hello everyone, welcome to next meeting of our awesome Knative working group. Does everyone see my screen? Just for the records.
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Yep, okay, thank you guys. So, let's start from action points from previous meetings. I was about to ask Radu about the upgrade and talk about it. I haven't done that, but I see that Radu has put this topic on the agenda. So we're on the same page, apparently.
No, I was also on vacation 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Nothing has happened, yes.
Okay. And Gareth, you were about to start discussion with guys from Knative about use cases of eventing, as I remember correctly.
Yes, so I started a bit on the Slack, but I was not able to attend yesterday's Knative eventing meeting. So in the next week, Wednesday, I might be able to put it up more concretely.
Okay.
So the one thing is this: they are already kind of aware of this challenge, and we just need to kind of align with them better, I believe. So they are not focusing on fixing it right now, but they are aware that it can cause the service explosion, at least of the S2 services and then the Kubernetes services.
Okay.
Because this is implemented in each cluster channel provisioner, and now the convention is very easy and very simple. But in the future, in our case, we are mapping each, let's say, event type to a channel. Then this will cause an explosion of channels, and each channel has 2 services on Istio level.
Okay.
So currently the Kafka guys and I believe the GCP are also following a very similar approach, but it seems this has to be corrected because it's not a very scalable solution.
Yes, at least for us.
Yeah, I think.
And Gaurav, we have to discuss, because with my discussion in the past for 1.5 months, this could be also implemented only for some provision, for example, for our nets or something like that, because this is transparent for the user of Knative. You create a channel and then you can run this channel. And if the infrastructure is created in the same service, but the channel can multiplex the event type, is also okay. We have to think about this if we. But of course, it could be much better if this is a change in Knative.
So I would like to go in the Knative direction, because then first of all we have a abstraction that works with all the implementations, and the second thing is that this is correctly implemented, because if everyone starts putting it in their way, then again the value we are building by using Knative is not fully utilized or fully recovered, because we want to say that we want to have the bus implementation pluggable, but that is no longer in a correct way true. Because
yes, I meant the channel as an object. The provisioner can return always only one instance of this channel, Nobody
so
say,
see
this
that
was a discussion. They say me at that time that if I want to have this, then I can implement this. And then
so I think along with Knative guys, we need to come up with a better model around this. Currently, the model misses some aspects, in my opinion.
Yes. And if you want to find a general solution and to improve, let's say, Knative for high performance part. And this is good if we are doing some work there. Okay.
Okay. Anything else on the topic? I guess the silence is not. So let's move to our today's agenda. And the first topic I'd like to talk about is what has left to meet our exit criteria. If we look at the topic on the purpose of this working group, there are 2 things to be done: enable Knative serving in Kyma and integrate Knative eventing in Kyma. The first thing, I'm sure, is already there because I did it personally. What about the second part? I'm asking because we're starting next release cycle and we need to think about if this group is necessary or not.
So we are carrying over most of the tasks related to integrating the Knative eventing in Kyma in the next release. And we are targeting first of all to get first working version of Knative eventing integrated into Kyma in the next release. So we are hoping that by the next release we should be there with a workable solution. So and the next steps would be to improve along with the Knative, make it really productive.
Okay, so you think that eventing part needs one more release of work?
Yep. So we have task planned, and then they are more or less at least coming up in this release. They are consuming the whole capacity of that release. So minimal, I would say that we need just one more release for this one, at
Okay.
least for the eventing part.
But in general, the Knative topics are much more as only integrating the Knative eventing in Kyma. We are thinking now, or Gaurav, also about using Knative sources, the other guys, to replace our kubeless with the Knative implementation, because in Knative you can have Java function or in other languages, and to go step by step more deeply into the Knative direction. So that I'm not sure if perhaps this working group is too, the purpose is too small now.
So yeah, I think when it was started, it was with this, but the automatics are also doing something along with this thing, especially with the build. So maybe at some point they might also be becoming active as a part of this one.
To have at least all this know-how concentrated for.
So Shriman, what I will propose is in the next milestone, maybe we should revisit and see that if we need to take it further or if we want to stop it at that point. Maybe right now it's too early to have any concrete decisions around this one.
Okay. Great. Okay, so next, what about the bumping about or using Radu, the new version of Knative?
These days, and Knative released for serving the version 0.3, and tonight also the eventing was released for 0.3. For us, it's important the eventing part because it contains the nets part, so that this should not be installed. In addition, is simplify our installation scripts in the future. And also we had found today that with the version 0.1, which is installed by us, we have some issue, or Knative has issue with the channels, and to expose this channel through Istio, and we are working with two different implementation. All is working with Knative Lite, but with our Knative release 0.1, Knative has issues. So that for me, it doesn't make any sense to continue to work on the old stuff. We should jump as soon as possible to the new release for these two arguments.
Also, I would like to add to in favor of having release 0.3 is that it would remove one of the obstacles in the installation, because right now we are not able to use Knative with pre-allocated IPs because of the existence of Knative Ingress Gateway. With 0.3, where Knative Ingress Gateway was removed, the obstacle will also be removed.
So should we consider creating a task for this upgradation?
I believe there is already one.
Okay.
Let me find it. We should consider bringing it to 0.7 planning. Labels, Knative, and I will Knative to newest compatible version.
Is it already released?
Yes, this is released 0.3.
Yep, today.
Yes.
So, do you want to bring it to planning? Yes.
Yeah.
And an idea who's going to do that? Piotr
Maybe
Garaf would.
maybe the second team.
Sorry, with second
What?
team.
Karaf. Maybe you guys.
Okay, I can bring it, no problem.
Sure thing.
So we'll just share the knowledge about the native installation and native patch.
I believe if we just discuss about this, mostly it impacts goats and melons. So we should consider some kind of capacity for these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll propose PM that if you have some kind of capacity planning done or not, maybe you can include this, and then I will try to do it from my side for melons.
Sure, I will put the link to the Excel, assign it from the working group, and you can put your estimation there.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We will guide you from the installer point of view how to proceed with that.
Okay. Anything else we should touch today?
I guess one thing would be that I can share some details. So I was working in the past on two things: the Knative adoption and then creating some kind of use cases from our side, which we can at some point share with the Knative. So the use cases I have already added in the working group Knative. So Shimon, maybe we can use your sharing only to just show it and then ask people to have a look at that and see if they have any feedback for that. It's in the community repository.
Community. GitHub. I have community.
Yeah, you have to. It's not an issue. It's a proper file, so you have to go to the GitHub.
Okay.
Repo. Yeah.
And here it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So basically, we what we do in Kyma essentially. So based on that and what we want to achieve going further. So I created these primitive use cases. Of course, we can combine them to also achieve more business scenarios, but these are the basic primitives that we should minimally have. And at some point when Knative will start discussing about their use cases, this is something that we will try to align as per our requirements. So the first one is pretty much what we have right now, which is about integrating with the external solution and then using the events to do some kind of a business extensions in Kyma. And if we go down, then at some point we also will need to have some kind of asynchronous workflows along with lambdas and the serverless architecture, so that using the events you can define some kind of a workflow and then achieve the same using the eventing. The third one is more interesting even for the Knative guys, because here we are not just integrating with the inside Kyma or external application, we are integrating with some kind of a cloud platform, for example, Google GCP or maybe SCP at some point. So the idea is this, that you can have the any kind of business events coming from some solution like some web shop, and then you can send those events to a cloud system, and then you can do something based on there in the Lambda. So just integrating the whole end-to-end scenario. And the other one is more like a symmetry of that, where you can have some kind of events happening in a cloud system, for example some user getting created or something else, and you want to do something in your system based on that. So the same thing is this: you can capture that event and then via Kyma you can trigger that business computation in the external solution. So these are like 4 primitive use cases that we have, and of course we will drive with the Knative to just align with them in the coming days. So if you guys have any comments or anything you see that we can add further, just please add a comment there. So I added it first because it was already internally reviewed, so I just got it language reviewed and merged it. But of course, any feedbacks we can definitely improve on that.
Shimon, you are muted.
Do you need any review from us on that, or if it's already reviewed?
It's not a, so review is not a must, but if you have anything to add, just I'll be happy to discuss on that.
Okay.
It's more about from a sharing perspective, but of course.
Sure thing. Anything else you would like to add?
No,
or
from my side.
Okay, that's all. And I get the silence, it means all. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Okay.
Same place, same time.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.